What is up, everybody? So today, I just wanted to give you guys an update video of my roster, my off-season NBA 2K16 roster. So if you haven't downloaded that yet, be sure to check out my last video and learn how to download that roster, because I'm telling you, if you don't have it, you're missing out. So, first thing I wanted to start off with is just talking about some of the bigger free agent signings that have happened. Obviously, I can't cover every single one, but let's just go in alphabetical order by teams. So the first team I want to start with is the Chicago Bulls, and they signed actually Rondo and D Wade to deals. D Wade actually signed for 2 years and $47.5 million, and the Heat kind of let him go. And that really surprised me, especially considering all that Dwayne Wade has done for that organization. Because before he was there, that franchise had 0 championships, and now that he's leaving, they have 3 championships. So it's hard to let a guy like that go. I kind of didn't understand that, but you know, it's all done now, so no use looking back at that. The Celtics actually did manage to make a move this offseason. They did snatch Al Horford from the Hawks, and they got him for 4 years and $113 million. And that's actually a really good move. The Celtics fans are really going to like Al Horford. He can shoot, he can put the ball on the floor, and he's really reliable in the post. Very skilled big man, and hopefully he'll be playing his natural power forward position, because he's been stuck at center in Atlanta for the last couple of years and still managed to make a few All-Star teams. The Grizzlies actually managed to make some huge headlines this summer when they signed Mike Conley to a 5-year, $153 million deal. And this is due to the whole salary cap explosion that happened in the NBA. So Mike Conley is a really good player. He's probably one of the more underrated players in the league. He's really good at finishing with both of his hands. He's actually a lefty. He's a solid shooter. He plays defense. He's always usually up there in steals. So he's just a very good point guard to have, and he's a great leader too. So I don't really have a problem with the contract, especially considering that next year they're going to look even worse. So I like the move by the Grizzlies. Keep your guy. And they also managed to sign Chandler Parsons too, so they've solved their problem of a lack of perimeter shooting, because the Grizzlies have had that problem for the last few seasons. And much like Dwayne Wade went home to Chicago, Dwight Howard's going home to Atlanta. He actually signed a 3-year, $70.5 million deal. So I don't think this really improves the Hawks, especially considering that they just lost Al Horford too. But, you know, they're going to stay at the same level, hopefully, now that they did get Dwight Howard in their front court. Also on this screen, you can see Malcolm Delaney. I added him. I created him. He's a really good three-point shooter. He was just an overall good player overseas. And even when he was in the ACC for Virginia Tech, he was a very good scorer there. So I'm interested to see what kind of role he plays here in Atlanta. The one player who did get paid by the Miami Heat was Hassan Whiteside, and he signed a 4-year, $98.4 million max contract. And it's so funny just looking back at like NBA 2K13, Hassan Whiteside was the lowest rated player in the game. He was like a 40-something overall. And now to see him climb up to this point and make such drastic improvements with Pat Riley and the Heat organization, you can't help but be happy for somebody like that. The Charlotte Hornets managed to re-sign Nicholas Batum. That was at the top of their list this offseason. They got Marvin Williams back too, but Nick Batum signed back for 5 years, $120 million. But they did lose Al Jefferson to the Indiana Pacers, who left to sign a 3-year, $30 million contract. One of the biggest offseason rumors that happened this offseason was Joakim Noah to the Knicks, and it actually came to fruition. And now Joakim Noah is there for 4 years, $72 million. And this greatly improves the Knicks' defense, especially on the interior, obviously, where Joakim Noah is a Defensive Player of the Year guy, and hopefully he'll bring that intensity that New York really needs, especially on the defensive end. On the West Coast, the Mavericks actually signed Harrison Barnes to a 4-year, $94.4 million contract, and hopefully he can provide that team some more scoring from the perimeter to go along with Wesley Matthews and Dirk Nowitzki, and he'll be a key cog for that team in the future, and hopefully his role will increase and he'll just improve every year. The Detroit Pistons signed my boy Andre Drummond to a max contract. I'm really happy for him. I've seen him, since his high school days, and I'm really glad that he got that max contract. The San Antonio Spurs managed to win the Pau Gasol sweepstakes, and actually I think this deal was overlooked a little bit, but he signed for 2 years, $30 million, actually a player option for the second year. So I think this one was really overlooked because this Spurs team is really built to beat the Warriors now. So I'm actually interested to see these two teams play. And last, but certainly not least, you have the biggest headline of them all. Kevin Durant signs to the Golden State Warriors for 2 years, $54.3 million, with a player option after the first year. Now, Kevin Durant is my favorite player in the NBA. He became my favorite player after the lockout when he was playing in all these Pro-Am games, Rucker Park. He was the guy who was consistently there, playing, getting better. He was the face of Basketball Never Stops. Now, I kind of feel a way about this move because Kevin Durant, he was the face of the Thunder. He was supposed to be the guy to lead his team to the NBA Finals like he did in 2012. But now he's kind of willing to take a back seat if it's necessary just to win a championship. And that's not the Kevin Durant that I know. That's not what I've grown to see. And it's a little disappointing to see him join the best team, the best regular season team in NBA history, just to chase rings. I wish he had done it his own way, but I can kind of understand because he really does want to be at the top, and he's kind of tired of that whole stigma that the Thunder had of just being that young and hungry team. The Warriors are clearly an established team. They've won the title, so he wanted to be a part of that, and I guess you can't fault him for that, but in terms of legacy, this is definitely going to hurt him. Now, there are some other changes I have made to the roster. Like, for example, I changed the playbooks for some of the teams who have new coaches. So, for example, the Houston Rockets just got Mike D'Antoni as their coach. So what I did, since he was the head coach of the 04-05 Suns, I gave the Houston Rockets the 04-05 Suns playbook, and I changed their style. There's a little style kind of menu that you could look at, and there's sliders that you can change. I changed it to the 04-05 Suns' sliders. So I did that for every coach who has a new job that had a previous job in the NBA, if that makes any sense. So Frank Vogel, I did the same thing for the Magic. I did the same thing for Dave Yeager and the Kings. So that's a small thing that I did in the roster. And if you guys have a problem with that, just let me know in the comment section, and I don't know, we'll figure it out. So yeah, that really does it for this updates video. If you want to see some of the minor changes that I've made, definitely be sure to monitor my Twitter. I do pretty much tell you everything that I do to the roster on Twitter. So if you have any questions about that, leave it in the YouTube comments here. And if you feel like somebody is missing that you want to see, check the free agent pool first and then let me know who you want to see. So yeah, that's really it. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.